When we had last left the Sentinel, they had finally arrived at Vernkai, where they decided to undergo a hazing ritual, as it were, and uncovered some of the secrets of the past of House Varun, as well as speaking with the High Council and making their way to a little fun shop. But along the way, they also got wrapped up in a familial dispute involving the urn and ashes of a mother that was about to be sold. Now they found themselves deep inside of some sort of assisted duel situation. And also, they needed to go chat with somebody about all these anomalous activities going on and the horrible situation involving the main center research building, whatever it was called, the Scaled Citadel? Nonetheless, this is Starfield. Welcome back. Zoop, zoop, zoop. There we are. Now, I think first and foremost, before we get onto this business, we should probably speak with the High Council about all this and speak with, Ekris, I should say. Yeah, we already spoke with them. That way we can get the ability to, I assume, buy and sell. To use the shops. Okay. Oh, took a bit. Oh, here we go. I guess this is them right here.
Just trying to survive one more day.
Wow, looks pretty cool. Okay. Hello.
The things they expect me to accomplish.
Hello, are you Ekris Kassir? My watch is telling me that you are.
Well, look who it is. You have made quite a stir. And given the state of things, that is a singular accomplishment. To what do I owe the honor, diviner?
Malibor says work on the mourning device must proceed. The High Council told me to help your project. What is going on here? What's going on here?
At the moment, obviously a great deal of nothing. Have the High Council to thank for that. Politics and expedience rarely pair well.
God, I forgot the name of this actor. But this dude, especially with the facial hair and being bald in this way, he looks just like, God, that one actor. You know what I'm talking about? He's always bald and he's got like the very, perhaps even overly well-groomed goatee. You know what I'm talking about? God, I cannot remember his name. Was he in The Mummy? No, was he? Maybe he was. He often plays like either a neutral character or an antagonistic character, right? He's very, very clearly typecasted into that role, but what can you do? All right. The High Council told me to help your project.
Well. Progress, at last. Then your arrival is even more momentous than I'd believed. I will spare you much of the technical detail, as I confess that pieces of it I barely understand myself. One cannot help but notice the energy field around the Scaled Citadel. Until we can get through it, we cannot shut down the experiment inside, and it has proved quite impossible to get through. We had the beginnings of a plan to build a makeshift contraption to redirect grav drive energy to see if we could penetrate the barrier, but the project came to a halt.
Sorry, I drank some water.
Politics got in the way.
This seems like the one time to set politics aside.
Every one of the houses needs to contribute, and every one realized they could potentially use it for leverage. What should have been a cooperative effort turned contentious. Easy decisions became negotiations.
So what kind of politicking got in the way?
Construction never began. We have sat here, staring at this disaster as supplies pile up for well over a week now. Serpent help us, it is infuriating.
Okay. No use complaining about the past, time to move forward. I've been here 10 minutes and the council is already annoying. You should be grateful that I'm here, and that you can continue your work. Why do you need the council's approval? If anything, I would think that because the High Council is currently predominantly new blood that wouldn't have been in there if not for the incident, if that's what we're referring to it as, they would have a majority vote to keep it that way, right? Like, if you get the previous High Council members out of this little tight spot, who's to say that you're going to remain in power and be able to exert whatever
Quickly, now.
policy you want, you know? Why do you need the council's approval?
The council just so happens to represent the 3 houses under Varun's banner, who are also entrusted with various aspects of running, well, everything. Each of those houses needs to contribute something to the project, so the council is the final stopgap. Were the speaker here, he could bypass all of it with a wave of his hand, but, well, you have already seen the state he's in.
Okay. Well, you should be grateful I'm here and that you can continue your work.
I suppose I should. I believe I've done enough complaining for now. Time to get to work. If you're here, the council has likely sent word to the houses that it's time to stop the infighting. I doubt it will be enough.
I would love to know more about what the
oversee
infighting is on.
construction here. Make
I'm sure we'll get
things
to
are
that,
built
right?
to specifications. If you could follow up with the houses, that may speed up the process.
I doubt they'll listen to me. I'll get right on it. I shouldn't have to do that. Huh. I want to hear what you have to say if I say I doubt they'll listen to me.
The first convert in generations. The only one to have heard from the speaker since the disaster. Oh, I think they will listen.
Right.
House Vetol owes us access codes for the city power grid. It's the only way to guarantee enough power to activate the device. House Kadik was supposed to provide a young scientist named Sahima to help me. She had at least some experience with the original Citadel experiment. No idea why they refused to send her. And Hasmek, the new elder of House Dulkef, he has been distant, guarded. He claims to have vital information about an important component of the experiment, but has withheld it until now.
Really?
Help me get what we need.
What a weirdo.
And we will see what we can do for the speaker. And for House Varun. And I may have something that can help you in whatever trials the Serpent puts before you as we navigate this.
Oh, yeah?
We
Oh,
have been
a
nearly
weapon.
overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
Astrophysics certainly has the potential to redefine what we know about the universe. Fascinating isn't the word I'd use to describe it. If it's not something that will help me get rid of the phantoms, I don't care about it. Yeah, it certainly has the potential to redefine what we know about the universe.
Yes, exactly. I am glad I am not the only one who can see that. Does nothing to make the loss any easier, but still. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance.
What?
Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere.
What?
We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications.
Okay. Man, I just love the name Morning Device. I'll take anything that can give me an edge. Unproven technology against enemies from outside our universe? Sounds like a great plan. I'm not interested. I can handle myself just fine. Sure, I'll take anything.
The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials.
Well, I may not.
And, depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable.
What?
I hope you can use that
Excuse me.
to your advantage.
You can now craft grenades using... Well, we'll never know. If you got something that can help me, I'd appreciate it. How have things been affected by the disaster? What do you know about the experiment in the Citadel? How have things been affected by the disaster?
Just look around. I'm sure you have at least some idea of how much we have physically lost. A huge portion of the city is just gone.
Do you
And
think it
those
got
left behind
teleported?
are struggling. Supplies are limited. There is
To
so
like a
much
nightmare
work to be
realm?
done, and
A
we're all
nightmare
just so
universe?
tired. I hope that eventually we can return things to the way they were, but we must be realistic. That will take time, and I suspect a great deal of it.
What I'm curious is why none of the Starborn Council, right, that the emissary was purportedly a part of, why haven't they gotten involved in any of this? This seems like very important to them.
And yet, you say nothing.
What do you know about the experiment in the Citadel?
Not enough to have prevented it from happening. If I had any idea it was going to turn out like this, it had been Inasco's primary goal for some time. A way to recreate Jinan Varun's encounter with the Great Serpent. Everything we knew about grav drive technology, every scientific advancement we'd made in the last 100 years was poured into it.
How many advancements did you
Towards
make?
the end, I was just so exhausted. I asked for a brief time off. Had I not, I would be trapped in there with the rest of the science team.
Serpent's embrace. It is the will of the serpent that you be here now to protect the promised. Sounds like you got lucky. Perhaps the Great Serpent had other plans for you. You had no way of knowing this was going to happen. Let's do the Serpent's embrace check. It is the will of the serpent that you be here now to protect the promised.
I don't know about that. Seems that it would have been easier to just not have it happen in the first place, wouldn't you think? I left the project weeks before the disaster, and at that point, we were nowhere near ready. Some breakthroughs were made shortly thereafter, and they ran the experiment. And here we are.
Given their interest in grav drive technology, I feel like we owe it to them to tell them what we know. Like, about its origins and whatnot. You know? And like, what we know about the, like, armillary and the Unity and all of that. Okay. If you've got something that can help me, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, depending on how much trouble you're getting into. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
Okay. Well, I think we looped here. Alright, good talk. So what did you give us? It's a melee weapon. Poison reforged Varun Skamaz. Okay. Sure. Well. So can I now go into the vendor zone? Goods exchange? Can I now do that? Or am I still not able to?
Greetings.
Hello.
Buying, selling? What do you want?
I would like to buy and sell. That wasn't much of a sales pitch. Sounds like you have a problem with me. Sounds like you got a problem with me.
No problem. I just do not trust you. I do not know what to make of your arrival here. You may have convinced the others, but I'm not entirely sure you are not a foe.
Oh, really?
However, your credits are worth as much as anyone else's. I will trade with you. but I have no interest in being your friend.
So we need to talk to that person. Okay, with Ekris. Are you concerned for your business, what with everything happening?
I have no reason to be concerned. The Great Serpent is testing our faith, and my devotion has always been resolute. Myself and my business shall both be stronger at the end of this, as a product of our loyalty to the Great Serpent.
Let's see what you have for sale. You think the Great Serpent destroyed homes and families as a test of faith? Doesn't that seem cruel? Is there anything I can do to earn your trust? I want to hear what you have to say to this. You think the Great Serpent destroyed homes and families as a test of faith? Doesn't that seem cruel? I mean, I would guess you will say that that wasn't the Great Serpent, right? That was humans trying to meddle, right? Trying to get in contact with the Great Serpent.
Is the savior of Dazra?
Doesn't all that seem cruel?
I will not dignify that nonsense with an answer.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to earn your trust?
No. You will always be an outsider to me. Always. The last thing this city needs is to open the gates and let outsiders flood in. Outsiders with weapons, crew, ulterior motives. I am disappointed that so many of my people have embraced you so blindly, when we should have found strength within each other.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take, actually. Right? I think that's a fair take. Like, the main differentiating factor is that I can see this phantom and hear it. Okay, let's see what you got.
Need, then leave.
Let's see. So what all do you have? Well, you got Big Bangs and Grendels and Kodamas and all that. Shoo. Okay. A Varun Starlash. Is this like a new type of... What's it called? Equinox? What was it called? I think Equinox, right? Okay. Beowulf. Breach. Negotiator. Hard target. Wow, it's unaffordably expensive. Alright. Warriors UC Naval Cutlass? Sure. Bunch of ammunition, spacesuits, mercenary suit, helmets. Okay. Yeah, I'm very curious if there'll be any Starborn presence here whatsoever. I'll buy that. Okay. Let's sell some of our crap here, though, real fast. Good. Get rid of that. Should I get rid of the old Earth shotgun? I feel as if I should. Feel as if I should. Doing it. And we'll get rid of this weapon. Sure, anything else? Get rid of the CD player. We've got all these vortex shards, and they do have weight, actually. They weigh 0.2 each, and we have quite a few. Okay, let's get rid of some of these. I'll take the hit there. Good. Okay. Good talk. It'd be interesting if we could sell the Varun writings here to anybody. Because in this part of the world, or this part of the universe, they shouldn't be considered heretical, right? Why would it be considered, like, contraband, you know? Head on back out here. Good. Unless it's like zealot writings, in which case they are still definitely heretical, right? Okay. There's a bar or inn. Should we check out the Keep Armory? I kind of want to. Varun Depository. Oh, a vacant house. I guess we can become a homeowner
your
here.
Scan shows.
Let's head over here to this other shop. Is this the vacant house? No. Oh, there's bars over that door. Okay. Fair enough. Door to the spaceport. Okay, Varun Depository. It doesn't work. What? What the hell? Andresia, I don't understand how this thing works. Andresia, how does this thing work? Does this not go up and down? Alright, fuck it. I'm flying. Maybe it only goes up? Okay.
The Great Serpent will deliver us from this.
Let's see what they have here at the depository. Oh, hello. Anything else cool? Oh, wow. Big old med crate. A lot of crap in here.
Great goods for a great price.
Oh, yeah?
I was hoping you would eventually stumble into my shop. Welcome.
It appears my reputation precedes me. What an unusually friendly greeting. You don't have to pretend to like me just to get me to spend my credits. You were actually hoping to meet me.
Well, yes. I realize others might treat people such as yourself with skepticism and distrust, but my opinions differ. You've clearly been chosen by the Great Serpent, sent here to help us in our time of need. In my mind, to treat you with anything but respect would be ignorant.
Well, it appears my reputation precedes me.
That's an understatement. It's rare that an off-worlder finds their way to Dazra. But not just any off-worlder. One that's able to speak with a Nazca Varun himself, which in the eyes of the citizens of Dazra moves you up from the suspiciously curious category to the dangerously unique one.
Serpent's embrace check? I'm hardly dangerous. My arrival on this planet is clearly the will of the Great Serpent. I don't blame him for being wary of strangers. Well, you clearly know who I am, but I don't know who you are. If they want to keep me at arm's length, suits me just fine. We'll do the Serpent's embrace check, of course. I'm hardly dangerous. My arrival on the planet is clearly the will of the Great Serpent.
Yes, of course. Forgive me. I had no idea that you'd taken our beliefs to heart. Perhaps we should start this conversation again. I'm Nalada Brady. Forgive me for not starting our conversation that way. I've been a bit distracted of late. My brother Qasim has been missing for days. I'm beginning to worry that something terrible has happened to him.
Well, he might be dead. Sorry. I'm very sorry to hear that. It's only been a few days. I don't need to hear your life story. I'd just like to buy some goods. A lot of people gone missing recently? Naladia, last I heard, a pretty big chunk of the city has gone missing. And I'm assuming that there were a lot of people who lived and worked there. Haven't a lot of people gone missing recently?
Well, yes, but the incident that claimed most of Dazra was several weeks ago. Qasim and I were fortunate that our shop wasn't destroyed like so many others around us.
Right. Okay. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yes, thank you. But my problems need not burden you. If you want to take a look at what my shop
I thought you were
has
about to give me a
offer,
quest.
well, you let me know.
I'd like to see your wares. It must be tough to run a business in the midst of all this chaos. It must be tough running a business.
My mother taught me to try and provide a smiling, friendly face for my customers, but it's been incredibly difficult. I managed to muddle through when the incident struck the city, but this situation with Qasim has made things difficult.
Well, maybe I could help you locate Qasim.
Really? You'd do that for me?
Well, I would.
You truly are a gift from the Great Serpent.
Yep, I
knew
suppose
you
I
hadn't
am.
forsaken us.
I'll do my best, Nalada. All I need to know is where to start. Well, don't get too excited. I can't make any guarantees. I'll do anything for anyone, if there's payment involved. Why do you consider me a divine gift when I'm simply flesh and blood like everyone else? I mean, we know what she'll say here. It's because it's the will of the Great Serpent. But let's say it.
Isn't it obvious? I believe the Great Serpent has specific designs for all of us. You consider yourself to be nothing more than flesh and blood, but you have a purpose. And purpose is greater than the sum of all our parts.
Okay, I'll do my best. All I need to know is where to start.
Oh yes, of course. The last time I heard from Qasim, he was headed out to the Deep Gorge refinery to assess if it could be reopened. He never came back that evening. I've been worried sick.
Geology check. It's possible that the cataclysm may have caused some sort of geological instability at the refinery. I promise I'll get you some answers. I'll see what I can do. Perhaps he doesn't want to be found. The Deep Gorge refinery? Deep Gorge refinery?
Of course. How would you know about that place? It's an old mineral processing facility a good distance to the southeast of Dazra. It closed down years ago due to, I'm not even sure why.
What?
It ran out of resources, I think. There was very little talk about it around town.
What? Okay. Well, maybe he doesn't want to be found?
Impossible. Despite what's
He
happened
loves
in
being
Dazra,
found.
Qasim has been in good spirits of late. No, if anything, I'm afraid he's been injured and can't make the journey home. Or worse.
Man, I can't believe... large distance communication is a bit of a problem in the settled systems. But you would think that at least House of Arun, being so what would you call it, insular, so self-contained to their own little part of the galaxy, of the settled systems, being so secluded and everything, that they would give people some means of communicating, right? Especially since it seems like they don't really even have a presence beyond this planet, beyond Varun Kai, or even too far beyond the city of Dazra.
Is
this
how you usually have a conversation?
Right, the rest of it is like in
where
ships
you're
and
from?
star stations. You would think that they would set up some form of telecommunications, since the span of what they're trying to accomplish is, right, the distance isn't nearly as wild, Okay. Well, it is possible that the cataclysm may have caused some sort of geological instability at the refinery.
Now that you mention it, someone in the city said that they felt tremors near that area.
Oh, it's gonna be worms.
Just please be careful. That old refinery has been abandoned for years, and there's no telling what might be choosing to call the facility its home. Now,
Yeah, it's probably
there
pirates or
anything you might need for your
spacers or
journey?
ecliptic mercenaries. All right. I'd like to see your wares. Why did Qasim head out to the refinery in the first place? Let's ask these things. Why did Qasim head out there anyway?
the cataclysm that claimed most of Dazra has severely impaired our ability to survive on Varun Kai. Qasim is simply trying to use his engineering background to help everywhere that he can. In this case, he's trying to assess if the refinery can be reopened. He strongly believes that the loss of the city's infrastructure means we need to rely on everything we can in order to get back on our feet.
How much infrastructure has been lost? I don't really know the scale of how bad this was, right? Huh. Like, are you all like running on water rations or what? Do you mind telling me more about Qasim?
Do you mean to ask if it's a sore subject to bring up since he's missing? Not at all. Qasim and I have been close ever since we were young. Our father and mother taught us everything we needed to know about running this shop so that one day we could take over. When they passed, Qasim and I ran the business for a few years together, but I could see his heart was elsewhere. I gave him my blessing, and he attended an engineering academy. In a few more years, he graduated and made quite a name for himself. When the government reached out to everyone for help after the incident, I wasn't the least bit surprised he was the first to volunteer. I can only pray that his eagerness hasn't gotten him into deep trouble.
Yeah, he's probably dead. I don't know. He's probably dead. What can you tell me about Deep Gorge Refinery?
Not much more other than what I've already told you. The only silver lining from the refinery shutdown was that all of the workers were placed into other positions throughout the city, so no one went hungry.
Okay, well, can I see what you're selling?
I'm sure we can strike a bargain.
Okay. You know, with I assume most of the competition being wiped out, you would think that business would be positively booming here. Buy some more picks. Let's see. Should I buy up some of this crap too? I don't know. Apparel, any cool stuff? No. A lot of lab equipment. A lot of aid, though. Should probably buy these. Yeah, this is the real stuff we should be buying. Anything that solves a color. There we go. Ooh, seaweed and egg porridge. Is that what that is? I would have expected it to look a little bit more green. Seaweed wine. Ship parts, trauma pack, bandages. Okay, let's sell off some more of these. Coachman, big bangs, get rid of them. Oh, shit, I guess I'll take the loss. God, we already sold enough. Okay. Good looking out. Head on over here. Do they have a ship tech? I wonder. Yeah, do they have, like, unique ship parts? I'm curious about that. Are you the ship tech? They might not. Given the curious circumstances of their...
Need something for your ship?
Oh. Dumar Hasadi.
Well, that is some ship you have there. It has been too long since I've tinkered with a ship from the settled systems.
I'm surprised you have experience working with ships manufactured in the settled systems. Hopefully the technology isn't too complicated for you. I'm surprised you have experience working with them.
Well, I had a privileged upbringing that allowed me to hone my skills on all sorts of different ships. So, if you need anything for your ship, just let me know.
I need my ship repaired. I'd like to modify my ship. I'd like to view my vehicles. Okay. Let's ask about this stuff. How are you so knowledgeable about ships from the settled systems?
About that. My father was a technician far outside of Dazra. Growing up, I would help him repair or strip all of the ships that were being delivered to him. Delivered by zealots. The ships were incredible. Deimos, throughout Ekland, even Hope Tech. It was so exciting to work on them, but now I just feel dirty. Knowing where those ships came from, what had to be done to acquire them. When I grew older, I came to my senses, grew a conscience, and abandoned my father. I thank the Great Serpent that I managed to avoid that life.
That must have been a hard choice to make. I'm glad it worked out for you. I would have kept your old job. Your father was probably rolling in credits. Are all settled system ships delivered by zealots? Are all settled system ships delivered by zealots?
Oh, no. Not in Dazra, at least. From time to time, our connections are able to deliver an outsider ship. They are very rare, though, and the times I get to work on one are very few and far between.
So, Dumar, my friend Dumar, it sounds as if you'd be willing to pay a bit of a premium if I could obtain some settled system ships for you, huh? That sounds like what I'm hearing. All right. That must have been a hard choice to make. I'm glad it worked out for you.
Thank you. It is moments like these that I know I made the right choice.
Okay. When was the last time an outsider stepped foot in Dazra?
I have no idea. It has happened before.
Really? I want to know.
Before my time.
That seems important.
Here was shocking, to say the least.
Okay. I want to take a look at your ships first.
Take a look.
Whoa. Okay. Sure. This looks very familiar. This looks like one of the Stroud Eklund sandwich ships, just with a different paint job. Yeah. A lot of these seem like Stroud Eklund parts. Wow, look at how clean that is there. The engine or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of these, like, ice cream sandwich looking ships. They're probably my least favorite look. Right? Are they... Would we not agree that these are probably the ugliest ships in the entire game? Right? For Stroud Eklund, priding itself on, like, such highfalutin fancy schmancy parts individually, the ships that are actually pieced together from their parts look like trash. Oh, okay, I like that. This isn't very Varun, though, is it? Wow, look, it's even got little fenders in the back. That makes it go faster. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay. Where are these, like, central pieces, I wonder? If I inspect how much... No, okay. Sure. Yeah, I think these are just, like, other ones. Autobahn. Okay. Sure. God, it's expensive as hell. Wagon train. Okay. I like it. I like it. Good. Sure. Well, we'll have to come back to you. Well, hang on. Let's just do a quick check.
You have great taste in ships, my friend.
I want to modify.
I can help with that.
I love how excited this person is. Okay, shipbuilder. And then add. Let's see. Are there any new pieces that we can just, like, spot here? Is there anything new? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, yeah. I still have to actually get the perk point to pop in there. Teo, Stroud Eklund, yeah. Yeah, see, I don't think there is actually anything new. It's just styled differently. Which I guess makes sense, given their situation of being mostly grounded and contained to this planet, right? That kind of makes sense, I guess. But, come on! Come on! It's like everybody's favorite part of the game is the shipbuilding. Come on! Come on, man! You couldn't give us something? You couldn't give us a little something? Yeah, for real, I don't think there's anything new. Oh, you gotta be shitting my ass off. No new habs. Reactors? Well, hang on, what's Jiang? Is that new? I don't know if I remember that. That said, it may just be because I'm dumb. Is it actually new, or am I just dumb? God, I think I'm just dumb. I think maybe I'm just like the dumbest fucking man alive. How about structural? Teo. Oh, do they have that, like, interlinking little unit? Oh, look at this. What is this? Braking engine? Oh, okay. One of those. Gotcha. Yeah, Stroud Eklund pieces, Hope Tech. Yeah, what about the thing that connects horizontally from, like, port to starboard? It's like a little walkway area. What is that? I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see such a thing. What the hell? Look at that. I am the dang Gan. Yeah, for real, I don't think there's anything new. You motherfuckers. Okay. Okay. Maybe it's under Hab, the like little link area? No. We saw one of the ships using one. Or several of them. Okay. Well, fair enough. We'll save our money for now until we can do more substantial upgrades, right? Maybe. Or I guess I could just throw some... Well, no, we'll wait until we have the perk, right? That's what we should really wait for, until we got the perk access. Yeah, that's it. Okay. How about this vacant
I shall stand
home?
guard while you focus.
Oh, look, there's a bunch of other places here. Alteration Clinic. Ooh, whoa, they've got their own enhance.
You're not welcome here.
I am growing tired of this.
Oh, damn.
A few months ago,
This is how this guy talks?
all regret treating me this way.
Uh-oh.
Say that again.
Whoa,
Go on,
easy.
then. Keep making your threats.
Save your bullets, damned fool. I am going.
What the hell? Orahim, what the fuck is going on? Fucking cops, huh?
Things here seem dire indeed.
You are the one who spoke with Nasko Varun. And you wish to speak with me.
Yeah, unless you're busy with something. I speak to a lot of people. You aren't special. You aren't special. Nope, I'm leaving. That's so horrible. Come on, you can't give me a dialogue choice to just say you aren't special. That's what a hostile thing to just open to someone with. Yeah, you aren't special. Come on. Jeez, lighten the fuck up. Yeah, unless you're busy with something.
You misunderstand. No one in Dazra speaks with me, or even acknowledges my existence.
What?
If they do, it is with scorn. And yet, here you are, speaking with me as if I were a person. Which begs the question, what do you want with me? Who sent you?
Man, they gotta get a lot of these Shattered Space voice actors back to voice some fucking characters in Elder Scrolls 6. Do you feel me? Come on, Shattered Space is filled to the brim with people that sound like they could do some killer voices for Elder Scrolls 6. Nobody sent me. I just wanted to talk. It took a while for everyone to warm up to me, too. I'm just trying to get to know people. What was all that commotion with the guard? Let's say that.
I am not welcome in Dazra. Guards demanding my removal is about the only acknowledgement I garner. The details of that commotion, however, do not presently concern you.
Well, nobody sent me. I just wanted to talk.
If that is true, we should continue this conversation elsewhere.
What, you gonna do?
Meet
Kill
at
me?
my shack outside of Dazra.
Oh, no.
You cannot miss it.
He's gonna kill
I
me!
suggest we tread carefully.
He lives in a shack outside of
Andrea,
town? Andrea, is this guy gonna kill me? Is this guy gonna shoot me? Fine, I'll meet you there. You're creeping me out. I'm not going anywhere with you. But I don't know anything about you. Why not just talk here? Why not just talk here?
We will get to know each other well, just not here.
Andrea, this
My
dude is
home
gonna
away
eat
from
me.
Prying eyes and judgment.
This guy
I
is a
wish people
cannibal.
to disparage you for associating with me.
Andrea, I think this dude eats people. Fine, I'll meet you there.
Good. I look forward to having a real conversation. First one in months.
He did like a Zizek. Alright. Sure. The fuck is your deal?
This city. I can hardly understand what I am seeing.
What? Okay. Hey,
I would do anything to sleep in my own bed again.
isn't there like a vacant house right over? Yeah. I'm going toward it. And look, this is temporary housing for all the people who managed to survive but did lose their housing.
Allowed to return home.
Huh?
You're not
Oh.
being held here against your
Forgive
will.
me, I am exhausted.
Do you have a home to return to?
I do not know. No, I do not think I do.
I understand that you must still be in shock. Many people are. Would you like me to escort you to the aid tent?
No, I just did not wish to talk any longer.
Oh. Okay. Sure. Oh, hey, look at you all.
Great Serpent, please help me. I am terrified.
How long has this been going on for? I still don't fully know if I have a good timeline on this. Right? How long has shit been this bad? Okay. Look at that cool snake. Okay. Like, I feel like we've been told, but I've just been getting too wrapped up into other inconsequential details, and I'm forgetting some of the more, like, groundwork that's being laid down. Right? Oh. How do I, should I just fucking start jumping around? How does one get over there? Andrasia, is this fine if I just start jetpacking on up here? Look, come on, someone on the world building team totally put lights here for me to do exactly that. Ooh. What the hell? Getting worn out. Andrasia, can you hold some crap for me?
Hello. If there's anything you need.
Let's see here. How about you hold on to that and that? And we haven't really even had an opportunity to use our current slew of crap. Oh, am I hungry too? And I missed it?
All?
Yeah, I am. Okay, let's have an alien tea and a carrot.
You seem to have taken on more than you can carry. If you require assistance, please, just say so.
Okay, how about this vacant house? I need a key. Okay. Guess I have to do a bunch of quests to get in there, right? They'll give me a key. Sure. Halls of Healing. Halls of Obedience, of Healing, Meat House, Alteration Clinic.
Did we win?
Well, the settled systems think they did.
Why did we fight them again?
Jinan Varun believed that he was tasked by the Great Serpent to claim dominion over the galaxy. The Serpent's crusade was an attempt to make that a reality.
What do you think of the Serpent's Crusade?
What do I think of it?
Yeah. Do you think it was...
Yes, child. I know what they meant. And my answer is this. If Jinan Varun decided that the crusade was necessary, then it was. The Great Serpent told him to do it after all, and we do not question the Great Serpent.
Oh, I was hoping the kids would have another little something to say after that. Man, alright. Sure. I really want to know more about shit like that. Oh. Jean Kadik.
There are at least some areas where things have not been thrown into total chaos.
And what about this talk of missing supplies? I would think the conversation starts there.
I apologize, but with the cataclysm, the investigation has been slow going.
How convenient.
You're putting the Groat before the horns! The issue
You're
is
putting
not
the Groat before the horns!
This may sound radical, but if we could reunite with some of the exiles from House Malene...
Careful, envoy.
The
It
sixth
means nothing
house.
if those
No.
who lend a hand are holding a knife.
Not to mention, they're completely sloughing mad. What? Too
Dang.
soon? It's only been about 50 years.
For now, let me see what I can find out regarding the missing supplies. It's possible they
Shoo,
were
what's with
lost
all
in
the
tragedy
baddies
along
out
with
here?
Everything else, but I don't know for sure. Once that is sorted, we can revisit this debate.
Of course.
Okay. Let's talk to all three of them before they leave.
I've got a reputation for hunting heretics. You're not a heretic, are you?
Uh-oh. What was that discussion about?
Oh, the usual politics. Everyone has an opinion, nobody has a consensus. It's exhausting. The only thing the houses have ever been good at is pointing fingers. Mine's coiled and ready. Is yours?
Your finger is coiled and ready like a snake. Has work been challenging since the incident?
Yes, you might say that. But I like a challenge. Sometimes tragedy is an opportunity to advance. Especially if the vortex swallows a direct superior or two.
What is this? Is this like French? Is this like a French accent? What's your role here?
I am a member of House Vital, stationed at the keep. Our job, to make sure everyone is working and committed to the cause. If someone has a crisis of faith, we simply remind them the importance of their role. As the saying goes, all must serve.
What can you tell me about the keep?
Well, the keep is where the army of House Varun has been traditionally armed and trained. To fight and conquer will always be a part of our culture. Even in peacetime, the serpent is coiled and ready to strike.
Where were you when the cataclysm happened?
Well, I was in Jinan Plaza and had a full view of the whole thing. It was spectacular.
What?
A wave of energy sweeping over the city, eating everything in its path.
What the fuck is wrong
with you? The destruction alone was impressive. But what I'll always remember is the noise. The vortex itself moved swiftly, darkly. But the sound of it was a slow hum. Deliberate. I can't explain it any other way. Like thunder rolling after the lightning. The power of the great serpent. Unleashed.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Remember, Chosen. None but the faithful are promised tomorrow.
Andreja, do you think I should just shoot her now? Or should we wait until we get the quest where we have to do it? What the fuck? Alright. Hey, what about you, Mujin Kadik?
I spend most of my time working at the Ministry of State.
What was that discussion in the courtyard about?
So you overheard us. Well then, let me answer your question with a question.
God, I want this guy's
Do you think the
tats.
cycle of violence can be broken? Or are some conflicts absolute?
It's possible to break it. Violence begets violence without end. Forgiveness for a sworn enemy is treason. I don't know the answer to that. It's possible to break it.
I wholeheartedly agree. We do not have to forgive, but we can let go. And why continue to fight if the reason for conflict is no longer an issue?
Agreed. If the source of the conflict is gone, then the fighting should stop. As long as blood's been shed, it doesn't matter if the reasons are gone. People will continue to fight. I don't feel strongly either way. This is the Disco Elysium centrist answer. You pick this and your own brain starts calling you a pussy. Why ask the question? What's this about? Why ask the question? What's this about?
Let's just say recent events have reminded me of an old parable about a father and two sons. The eldest son was dutiful, the youngest disobedient. But the father loved both equally, and the eldest resented this. One day, the youngest falls into a pit of quicksand. The eldest, filled with bitterness and anger, ponders, leaving him to die. The parable ends here, leaving the reader to contemplate the end. But I imagine that only by working together can a family prosper. And the alternative brings us both to ruin.
Well, I agree. If the source of the conflict is gone, then the fighting should stop.
I concur. And the infighting serves only to weaken House Varun and Dazra. In my argument back there, I advocated for more workers, even if it meant reaching out to our enemies. And yes, I understand the reluctance with House Malin. Their crimes go beyond forgiveness.
Okay, but what exactly were their crimes, though?
We need workers.
Forgiveness
healers,
and letting go
engineers.
is different from, like...
People who can help rebuild Dazra, not tear it down.
Okay, but I need to know a little bit more about what they were doing, right? Before I go so far as, I'm all for, like, forgiveness, letting bygones be bygones, rehabilitation, stuff like that. I'm all for it. But we should probably tread a little bit carefully depending on what they did, right? We should probably be a little bit careful about that. You mentioned House Malene. Where are they now?
They are the ones commonly known as zealots. Fanatics who believe
Oh.
peace should never have been made with the settled system.
Oh.
But to assume any group is a monolith is absurd.
That's true.
Reconciliation with the hardliners should be off the table. But we can find members within who are willing to abandon the Serpent's crusade.
Okay. Man, all right.
I don't have time for delays.
Why the push for more workers?
I'm surprised such a question can be asked with the city in such disarray. The problems are obvious, and yet those in power continue to emphasize patience and measured responses. Now is not the time for red tape. The more caution we exercise, the more people will suffer.
What's your role at House Kadik?
With regards to politics, these days I'm mostly an advisor. I focus on high-level concepts and strategies as opposed to the day-to-day operations. I let my ward Okeem handle all of that. He sends me proposals, I weigh in, and give my approval. I've even made him captain of my ship, the Cortege. I joke that I'm mostly a glorified rubber stamp, but my days working the field are over.
Is it me, or did that discussion seem heated? What kind of a dork are we? Is it me, or did that discussion seem heated?
Oh, I assure you it was 100% personal. Davina and I have history. She blames me for derailing her political ambitions. Without getting too caught in the seaweed, a long time ago, I received some bad intel from a source on a zealot hideout. Davina used that intel to launch an attack and ended up taking out a camp of civilians. The incident was high profile, and the fault was attributed mostly to her. She's never forgiven me for it, and I fail to see why. It's petty and unprofessional for someone of her position.
Huh. Where were you when the cataclysm happened? I do like this as like a line of politicking, right? I do like this. The idea of whether or not to reach out and include the zealots within the like rebuilding efforts and all of that. That's very interesting. I feel like we need to learn more about the entire situation before like I'm willing to commit, because like there's a lot that I don't know. Like how I very much appreciate that they're like, yeah, they're not a monolithic group, But to what end, right? I want to know more. Where were you when the cataclysm happened?
I was at the spaceport, attending to business. I only witnessed the crest of the vortex emanating from the scaled citadel. It lasted only a moment. A flash in the sky. It was only the hours afterward that we understood the consequences of that moment.
Okay.
We'll talk more later.
Because also at the same time, Tavina's a little fucking wild. Right? I get what Tavina is saying if she's the one who's not in favor of the Zealots joining up, but also Tavina seems a little fucking warhawkish, putting it lightly. All right. Hey, Kizrani Dulkef.
First the cataclysm, now this. There's too much going on right now.
You look stressed. Not my problem. There's never enough time for anything. What was that conversation about? What was all that about?
The accident has strained our supply chain on a number of fronts. Envoy Kadik argues it's a problem of manpower. Warden Bethol says it's a problem of resources. I had hoped we would have solved the supply issue by now, but there's been a complication.
I'm guessing going public with Vern Kai and, like, accepting settled systems help is off the table. Right? I'm guessing that is a no-go. Because that seems like the most obvious solution is to go and start spreading out help and feelers on a system-wide, or not system, but settled systems-wide level. There's never enough time for anything.
And yet we still try to get it done, in the little window we are given.
Yeah, and we should never stop.
I'm sorry if I seem a bit flustered. Things have been chaotic since the Cataclysm, and now word of missing supplies. But that doesn't excuse my rudeness. Let me at least introduce myself. My name is Kezrani Dulkev. I work as an executor for House Dulkev.
I'm Lyle. Nice to meet you. I don't do pleasantries. Sounds like someone important. Executor? Like the Pokemon?
Members of House Dulkev who handle trade in and out of Dazra. We are part of the Ministry of Commerce, but
in and out of
building
Dazra
was lost in the Cataclysm.
So what would you be trading with in and out of Dazra? Well, it sounds like you're someone important.
I'm not someone in power, if that's what you think. Still, my work is important and allows me to meet all manner of people. Which is what I assume brings you to me? Do you need assistance?
No, but maybe I can help you. Seems like you've hit some trouble. I am looking for work. I've overheard your conversation and was curious. Nothing, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm looking for work.
Funny you should say that. It's about the supply shortage. There may be a reason for it beyond the Cataclysm itself. A week ago, my cousin Ukaru came to my office concerned about a series of lost shipments. He was certain someone was using the tragedy as cover to steal supplies and route them to our enemies.
What enemies? The Zealots? Yeah, which enemies?
I'm not sure. The message was vague, and there are many who would want to do us harm.
Who? Just the various zealot groups? How organized are they? So are the House of Varun zealots also hostile to the, like, houses? Doing so would be treason. Using the tragedy as cover seems especially low. Smart move, I'd do the same given the opportunity. Using the tragedy as cover seems especially low.
Agreed. It is difficult to believe, and as such, the proof must be ironclad. So I told my cousin to return with more evidence, and when I didn't hear back, I assumed that was the end of it. But this morning, I received a slate from a courier. It was from Ukaru. It was worrying, to say the least.
Explain. Odd that he wouldn't talk to you in person. Just get to the point. Odd that he wouldn't talk to you in person.
Yes. He was trying to leave a trail, it seems, in case something happened.
Oh.
The contents were cryptic. He mentions a possible conspiracy and being followed and, well, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to panic. He hasn't shown up to work in days, and the timing of all this feels suspicious.
A sudden absence would give credence to the idea he was followed.
Agreed. Ukaru was extremely punctual. An absence like this is very unlike him. But if he is in danger, I don't know if it's safe for me to investigate. I need someone disconnected from the noble houses.
I'll investigate. Just tell me where to start. I don't have time for this right now. Why is someone disconnected from the noble houses? What kind of shipments have gone missing? Why not investigate it yourself? Why not investigate it yourself?
I'm not sure that's wise, given Ukaru's warnings. If what he says is true, a watchful eye is being kept on House Dulkev. They may blame him or me for the supplies going missing. And if I investigate this, I could be accused of wiping records or tampering with evidence. An independent
So you're cool with me being accused of that?
unaffiliated with the houses is what we need here.
Well, now I'm no longer unaffiliated. I'm affiliating with you right now. I hate to break it to you, but right now, what we're doing, we're affiliating. I'm now affiliated with House Dulkev. This is what this is. What kind of shipments have gone missing?
vital supplies for the city, which given the cataclysm is a wide breadth of things. Construction materials, medical kits, food. The loss of all this is a great cause for concern, given the state of the city.
Right. So why is someone disconnected from the noble houses?
The slate Okaru sent via courier is light on details, but he did say that one of the noble houses may be involved. Which, if true, would emphasize the need for discretion and an outside party.
Well, I'll investigate. Just tell me where to start.
Okaru's workstation is likely your best bet. He's been working in the rehabilitation unit on the 3rd floor of the Halls of Healing. If you run into any issues with access, hand this slate to my fellow executors. Once you locate him, report back to me. I've got a meeting at House Kadik later, but I shouldn't be hard to track down. Hopefully you'll find my cousin alive and safe.
Okay. Well, since he's nearby, I feel like there's a good chance he'll be alive. Right? Unlike the other one. Okay. You know what? I think we do that one next. Let me even track it before I forget. House divided. Yeah. Investigate the halls of healing. Good. Okay. Yeah. When next we return, we're going to go check out the halls of healing. There should be also, yeah, maybe we can go inside of some of these other places too. Right. I do want to check out the meat house, but maybe we'll wait a bit.
Interesting results.
A groat farm way out there. Another groat farm. God, I can't wait to see some more groats. Way Shrine of Redemption. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of really into this right about now. I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts, but it's building up in a fun way. I'm quite enjoying it, right? So far, I don't see too much of the qualms that folks had with this. I'm quite enjoying it right about now. We'll see how it pans out, though, right? Who knows? All right. Until next time, please take care of each other.